There was the day for me when I went like, and it required a doctor telling me you're dying. And that was when I stopped doing drugs, but almost like I needed that push. Was there some moment for you where you were like, this is not sustainable? This is not some way to live a long time.
Yes, I started dating my partner, who's now my beautiful wife. I started dating her around that 22 years old mark. It was about a year into the relationship, and I just pretty much hit my heaviest. I couldn't really walk. I was looking at like mobility scooter quotes. I couldn't do anything. I had no life, and I was staying at her house, and my now mother-in-law, at the time, like she was at the shops. But my mother-in-law, I was in the kitchen with her, and she was like, "Look, I got to ask you a question." And I was like, "Oh, shoot." She's like, "Do you care about the weight?" And I was like, "Nah, don't give it." Like, in that in denial phase. And she was like, "Oh, like, look, I only asked because like if you've got a future with my daughter sort of planned, like you want to have kids and stuff like that. What are you going to do when those kids are 4 or 5 years old and they're sitting back like, oh, where'd dad go?" And I was like, okay. So that was when it really sort of dawned on me. I was kind of like, well, bringing into like, because obviously when you're that big, it's a very selfish journey. So I was sort of just, once she said about the kids, I was like, well, she's not wrong. Like, if I do continue down this path, there's a very high chance I'll probably cuck it, fairly soon. If it is after, say, we would have kids or something like that, you are going to leave to, like, one, two, however many kids you have, you're going to leave those souls on this earth wondering where the dad went. And how does a mother explain to their children, oh, well, dad decided to drink himself to the grave, sort of thing. So I was kind of like, sugar, I think I might need to change a little bit here and there. And there was already a fair few suicidal thoughts back in the back of my mind because, again, as you just said, like you sort of keep on that path to the sense that you either block it out or you go back to what you're doing to block it out. So I was already having really bad thoughts, and then to hit me with that, I was at a crossroad, and I was like, well, shit, there's two ways I can go. I can either continue down the path and evidently, kill myself or drink myself to the grave, etc., or I can make a change. So I decided, you know what, and I'm going to wake up and make a change, and here I am.
Oh, I'm so glad you did, brother. And yeah, there's something really profound about that because that's a very similar experience I had with my wife. I'd gotten sober and then I got together with my wife, and I wasn't thinking about it constantly. But the second that I started thinking about the future and really like
Hmm.
investigating what does the future mean, me at the size I wasn't possibly a part of that future because I was dead.
Yep.
And I think it's a tough thing to say to somebody too who doesn't have that, who isn't contemplating progeny and a long-term relationship because like there's got to be a way to think of to kind of establish what you want in the future without having a wonderful, gal or guy by your side who is a part of creating
Mhm.
something more in the future than whatever you're doing in the present. That's amazing that that's how that worked for you because it is quite literally how it worked for me. It was, oh, there's more to the future than just me and I want to be a part of that.
100%.